What's one thing that you could do as a landlord when you get possession of a property back, either through a sheriff's lockout after an eviction or after a tenant just moves out? Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Boy on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. Now, I was just talking to a landlord early ago. They're getting ready for a sheriff's lockout. They're asking Rob, what do we do, what to expect, and so forth. And I tell them the one thing that I would always do after a sheriff's lockout, or anytime a tenant moves out for that matter, is you take pictures and video of the condition that the property was left in before you do anything. Okay, that's the number one thing I always tell clients and landlords to do. Reason why is this: you want to preserve the scene of what exactly the condition of the property was left after that lockout or after the tenant moves out. And nowadays, for security deposit purposes, you got to take pictures of the condition of the house that the property was left in anyway. This was always a good practice. And now if you do have a security deposit, you're required to, take pictures after a reasonable time after the tenants leave. Reason why is this: we can avoid a lot of disputes about unclaimed property that was left at the premises and the condition of the property. Okay. Particularly for sheriff's lockouts, if anyone has ever been through one of those, like most of the time, like 99% of the time, the rental property is in disarray. Okay. It is not a pretty sight. Okay. You want to document that. Okay. Particularly if a tenant left belongings, because as many of you know, under state law, you have to allow your tenants so many days, it's 15 after a sheriff's lockout, to allow them to collect their personal belongings and so forth. And if they don't collect those belongings, the landlord can dispose of those items pursuant to the civil code. Okay. Reason why you want to take the pictures at minimum in video, if preferable, is, we can avoid disputes about, hey, I left a $10,000 Gucci purse or whatever at the property, and we can show the contrary pictures of the broken and damaged items left at the property and the property being a mess. Okay. Get documentation, for your file, basically, so there's no, you can reduce the chance of a fraudulent claim of something being left behind and the landlord disposing of it improperly. So those are my thoughts. Landlords, if you're facing a tenant situation or you don't know what to do after a tenancy has ended and you need some help, feel free to reach out. We might be able to help out. Put your comments, questions down below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Until next time, folks, I'll talk to you then. Thanks.